Senator, nice to see you, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Congressman Frank Wolf on the House side has written a letter to Speaker Boehner saying that a select committee should be formed to investigate what happened in Benghazi. What are you doing in the Senate?
John McCain and myself and Senator Ayotte will introduce a resolution asking the Majority Leader, Harry Reid, Mitch McConnell, the Minority Leader, to do a select committee. And why do you need one? The State Department is under the Foreign Operations Committee, Foreign Relations Committee's oversight. Department of Defense is under Armed Service, and the CIA is under the Intel Committee. If you have three different committees interviewing people separately, we won't know what one group is saying versus the other, so we should form a committee. The three committees that have oversight over Department of Defense, Department of State, and the CIA, and work together to get a good work product, ask questions where we know what the answers are, and have a professional approach to this. I think
so it's efficient.
I think the Congress would be making a huge mistake to stovepipe this, let three committees go off by themselves and not coordinate.
Senator Harry Reid, the Majority Leader, his view on a select committee is what?
I don't know. We got to ask Harry, but I just don't believe you can get to the truth in a professional way. When you talk to the CIA, I also want to talk to the Department of Defense. Why were these people left hanging for 8 hours? Why couldn't anybody help them? The CIA, why did you not get ready for an attack that people were telling you about? The State Department, God knows how many times did you fail the people in Benghazi? I want one committee with a professional staff asking questions of all three of the agencies, not do it separately.
Why do you think General Petraeus, who was then CIA director, at the end of October went to Libya? Was he doing his own investigation?
I don't know, but we need to ask him. You know, what happened, he's a friend of mine, and I hate what happened to him on a personal level to his family, and I wish them the best. But you can't get to the bottom of Benghazi without him testifying. For months, the State Department people on the ground were telling the State Department in Washington, Al-Qaeda is all over the place, we can't defend this place. The CIA chief, the night of the attack, told the people in Washington, we're under attack, this is a Al-Qaeda coordinated attack. I want to hear from General Petraeus about what he knew before, during, and after the attack. And there is no substitute for his testimony in my view.
Well, what is your theory as to why on the 15th of September, which was 4 days after the 11th, that even though his station chief had told him that it was terrorism, and everybody pretty much knew, everyone knew it was terrorism right away, that he came and told that the story about the video and the spontaneous protest? What in the world would have possessed him to tell Congress that?
I don't know, and I need to ask him. I think every American needs to understand why General Petraeus told committee members behind closed doors this was a mob spawned by a video, a riot, versus a coordinated Al-Qaeda attack. We need to know why Susan Rice told the whole world definitively there's no evidence of a terrorist attack.
Would you filibuster any effort to make Ambassador Rice the Secretary of State should the President nominate her?
I'm not going to promote anyone who's involved in the Benghazi disaster.
So that's a yes?
Yeah.
That's a yes to filibuster?
Yeah. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I do want to tell people back home and throughout the country that what she said on the 15th of September makes no sense to me. Either she was very uninformed, which means she shouldn't be promoted, or she was misleading. I can't see any circumstance, given what I know, that I would promote her or anyone else, quite frankly, that was involved in this episode. Somebody has to be accountable. You got 4 dead Americans, the first ambassador killed in the line of duty in 33 years, and you're talking about the spokesman being promoted to the Secretary of State who told the whole world a story that makes no sense. I don't see any way in the world she'll get through the Senate.
Paula Broadwell on October 26 at Denver University made a statement to suggest that the Benghazi consulate or CIA annex was being used to hold prisoners.
Right.
Do you think that was true? And if so, is it in violation of an executive order? You shake your head yes.
Well, it would be in violation of executive order. I don't know if it's true. The CIA denied it, but I want to know why she said it. She also said at that same speech that General Petraeus was informed by the station chief in Benghazi that we're under attack, this is a terrorist attack, and that the whole narrative that there was a mob and a riot didn't make any sense given what the people on the ground were saying that night. So.
When CIA Director Petraeus went to Capitol Hill on September 15th and was behind closed doors, would that have been under oath? Is that typically under oath?
I don't know. I wasn't part of the Intel Committee. I think it was before the 15th. but I've talked to people who were in that briefing, and they were very disturbed and concerned about what General Petraeus was saying because it didn't make a whole lot of sense. This was an attack on a consulate and a mile away an annex. It was a coordinated military type attack with heavy weapons including mortars. And the people on the ground had been telling us months before the attack that Al-Qaeda is taking over Benghazi, and on August the 15th a cable was sent from Ambassador Stevens to the State Department saying, we cannot defend this place if there's a coordinated Al-Qaeda attack, and we've identified 10 militia groups that are Al-Qaeda affiliates, and 2 of the 10 were actually identified as having been involved in the attack. You had people from Tunisia, you had people from Egypt. This is a lot of things. It's not a riot spurned by a video. It was a long time in the making. It was coordinated, 2 different sites a mile apart, and we're going to get to the bottom of it. The affairs, I hate that for the people involved. There are no perfect people out there, but we need to get to the bottom of what happened. How did this consulate become a death trap? Why could they not be helped for 8 hours? And why such crazy, silly, stupid stories?